All right, we're trying this again to see if this works. Maybe it will work this time, maybe it will not. Let's see. Okay, so I got Instagram working. Okay, I think everything is working now. Sorry, guys, that was crazy. That was crazy. We've got everything in check. This is just a hangout, guys. You know, I mean, I'm just hanging out for the I guess it's the evening for a lot of other folks. It's the morning for me right where I am now. Open forum. I'm going to get an influx of trolls on my live feed on YouTube. So I'm going to have to clean that up a little bit. Let me delete one of the feeds that was already here. Delete forever. And then go in here to at least deal with some of the trolls early on. We deal with some of the trolls early on. Customization. Subscribers, replay. Okay, let's deal with some of them early on. Okay, got some of them. All right. All right. All right. How is everybody doing? Okay, we've got some folks taken care of. My last YouTube show, which shorts are you referring to? Lifestyle with Abby? Which shorts? Because I've put in a lot of shorts recently. I've had a lot of shorts. So which one are you talking about? Hi, Brand Fleurs. What's up? How are you? Oops. Sorry, that's my fault. I messed up my thing there. How are you, Brand Fleurs? Okay, okay. How are you doing? Actually, you know what? I might actually make this full screen now. Let me make that full screen. Okay. Let's make it full screen so everybody can see me clearly. Yeah. Lifestyle with Abby, what shorts are you talking about? I've done quite a few shorts. What shorts are you referring to? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I didn't sleep that well yesterday, so I'm a bit woozy. But I just wanted to come on and, hang out with some folks today on the lives. The Alkebulan shorts. The Alkebulan shorts is old. It just keeps reviving itself. Same thing with the African size of Africa shorts. And I have shorts that just revive themselves suddenly, for no reason. So those are not new shorts. I don't have a lot of new shorts. There are going to be some new shorts that I'll be putting out soon. But I don't have any new shorts that are doing like those sort of numbers right now. I mean, those are all older shorts that have been out for a while. Those are all older shorts that have been out for a while. Good day, Mac Plenty. Mac Plenty, I noticed that you never put in your contribution for the 300. I know you said that you were going to do it that day. You didn't do it, so you might get purged. You might get purged and removed. Lisa G, what's up? I know you did. I got your message. Thank you for your contribution. You are all good to go. You've done your due diligence. Much appreciated, Lisa G. I saw your message. I saw your message, Lisa G. Brand Fleurs always on point. I know you've already got your materials in check. You are one of the first. Appreciate it. Standing 10 toes, down. Brand Fleurs. Yeah, Lifestyle with Abby. I told you that there's a lot of stuff that you haven't seen that I've done. Like, there's so many videos I've made. 100, I don't know how many videos I made, but there's a ton of really great videos that I've made that over the years that you haven't seen, obviously. So when you get recommended these videos are not that I just made them. I mean, these are things that have existed on there for a while. They've existed on there for a while. I mean, I don't know. Look, it's up to you. If you said by noon tomorrow, I mean, listen, the deadline is there. If you don't get in time, then you'll get purged. It is what it is. Because I mean, it's like I tried to give a wide berth. So I gave a full week. 7 days is a long time, especially when I'd been talking about it for so many months. So everybody who's involved knew that this was what was going to happen. They knew that the meeting was going to happen, knew that the thing was going to be set for those dates. So there's no real reason for there to be some massive delay. There's no real reason for that. But it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, this is not compulsory, but the main thing that, I think the main thing that concerned me about it is the number of people who joined in, but, didn't heed what I said about the seriousness of what we were trying to achieve. That was unfortunate. But regardless, look, the way that I feel about this stuff now is that I'm really, really excited about discovering the team, like the people that are going to be moving forward. I'm really excited. Ponder with Yusuf, how are you? How are you? No, G, ignore that email. If it's saying that, G, ignore that email saying that you didn't contribute. There was a glitch in the matrix. There was a glitch in the matrix, G. Ignore that message. There was a glitch in the matrix. That was not accurate. You definitely took care of business. If you took care of business, you're on point. But as I said, guys, this is open forum. So please, anybody, I want to invite people onto the live. So please click the link if you want to join in on YouTube. That's how you can get in on the live to have to join in the conversation. This is open forum, open chat. This is the time when you can ask random questions. On this show, you can ask completely random questions. We're here to just chat for a while, for about an hour. I'll be on deck chatting with the subscribers. I know that, I actually have to do that, talk to my Substack followers. Like the whole thing about followers and subscribers on there is weird because I have like maybe 4,000, 5,000 followers who are not subscribers on Substack, which is frustrating. Which is definitely frustrating. Live video. See, I'm actually scared to look at this stats here. Let me look at this stats. Ugh. Yeah, I knew it was bad because I didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday. So I'm looking at my, okay. Actually not terrible. I was expecting to be in worse shape. I'm looking at my stats, guys, my health stats. But it seems that I'm not in as bad a shape today as I was expecting. Well, according to the data anyway. According to the data. But yeah, guys, look, it's been quite a year. It's been quite a year so far. And I say so far, we're a quarter of the year in. For me, it's definitely been eventful. Definitely been eventful for me. I've let's just say I've achieved a lot in terms of pushing things forward. I'm glad that the 300 has got going. That is massive. It is absolutely huge that has got going. And I'm going to make a video after this thing of something that was one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard. That was given to me yesterday when I was talking to the 300 group. One of the members of the 300, Tracy, Time to Shift the Mothership, gave me a fantastic piece of wisdom. She gave me a fantastic piece of wisdom that has completely changed the way that I'm looking at this process now. So shout out to Tracy. Time to shift the mothership. Shout out to Tracy. She completely refocused my mind. You know, shout out. Habana, Cuba. What's up? ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué tal tu día? ¿Hablas español, amigo? ¿Sí o no? ¿De dónde eres específicamente en Cuba? ¿Cuál lugar? Dime. Cuéntame, amigo. Cuéntame de dónde eres específicamente en Cuba. ¿Cuál lugar? Si no hablas español, dime en inglés. My question got skipped over, Mike. What was your question, Brand Fleurs? I missed it. What was your question? What was your question? What was your question? What was your question? Tell me again. I missed it. If you tell me again, I'll try and get that answered. I missed your question, Brian Fleurs. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I'm going to be doing that video because I think that she gave me some really, really great advice. And it's really going to help me focus the way that I approach this process and the way I approach the 300 community. I think I was approaching it the wrong way. I think my expectations were wrong. The fact that I was sitting and I was expecting that everybody that came in were going to do that, it was never going to be like that, you know? It was never going to be like that. I think that the key is when you do these sorts of moves, especially for a group of people that are so unused to moving in this direction. Frank Hernandez Seracen, sí, hablo español, sí. Porque viví en Colombia. Trabajo en Colombia. Trabajo y otras cosas. Otras cosas en Colombia. All right. Are your films like The Frank Zone and True Size of Africa available on YouTube membership and Substack? Because I can't find them. Brand Fleurs, what I'm going to do is create a special package. I'm going to create a special package on YouTube called the Bumper Package, where I'm going to mash up the greatest hits. I'm going to call them the Bumper Package on YouTube. And I'm going to mash up, because there's a lot of videos that people have missed, I'm noticing, that I'm going to create a back-to-back package of some of my hit shorts and my hit videos so people can watch them all in one go. What I might also do is that the membership, they are available, but I should have made more of them available in Substack membership in HD. So what I might do, now that you're asking, for HD memberships, and I don't know, what membership are you on, Brand Fleurs? You're on paid membership YouTube, right? So you should have access to everything. Because I don't know, are you on paid membership for the newsletter or just the YouTube? You're in the 300 anyway, so I'll be able to hook you guys up in the 300. I'll get you all the links. I'll get you all the links in the 300 either way. But let me know where you are, then I can take care of it. But I'll hook you up either way. Where is everybody? Let me try and get some guys in this place. Where is everybody? Is it too late in the day for you? Is it too late in the evening? Is that why some of the usual suspects are not here? Is it too late? I know I've got some guys on X. I do not really broadcast on X as a primary. I don't broadcast on X as a primary. Okay, brand fleurs. Noted. Point taken. I'll take care of it. Brand fleurs. Which videos are you looking for, brand fleurs, exactly? Are you looking for all my premium videos? Because I've got a lot. I've got true history, true origin of Nigeria, true history of true name, well, true size of Africa, Frank Zone, death of the dollar bricks, true history of Liberia, Ghana, Africa, Cocoa Wars. Look at all these hits, guys. I've got hits, diamond hits. Get all those videos out to you guys. Those are hits videos. Those are all hit videos. So if you haven't seen any of those, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting the series on Substack. But the thing is about Substack, the problem is that people don't realize that Substack has a website that you can actually just go to. That's part of the problem. So I keep telling them, like, yeah, you get the newsletter, but you can actually go to the website to go into my archives. So if you're a paid Substack member, the best thing you can do is go into my archives. It's not just the emails that you're getting. You know, you should really go into the archives. Cassandra Normal, Red Arkansas. Okay, how are you doing? You should also get into the archives. I mean, that is the main value. In fact, you know what? That is something I'll post that on a Substack today, because I think that people don't know that. I think people just do not know that. So I'm going to post that on Substack after this. I think that's the next thing I'm going to post, is I'm going to let people know exactly how to get the value. Because I think, and this is what I realized, a lot of people who get my newsletter just think of it as an email newsletter. They read it within their email provider and then they move on. They don't know that if you click through and you get the Substack app and you go to the website, you can actually go to my years back. I've got years of archives in Substack, like I think 200 articles or something, and videos that you can just go to, especially if you're paid. If you've got a paid membership, you can actually access all the locked posts and the free posts and videos and podcasts. There's audio podcast, video podcast on there, the videos, the articles, the notes. There's so much material on Substack that people are missing out on because they think that they're just getting what's in the email. So I think I'm going to make a post about that today, so people get in, because I think a lot of folks don't know. I think a lot of folks don't know. But yes, that was some of the best advice I got today, and I'm going to post that today. I mean, it was a fantastic piece of advice that Time to Shift the Mothership gave me. Yeah, okay. Brand Flores is saying, yeah, those aren't on there. Only the live reaction discussion of those topics. Ah, okay. When you say aren't on there, you're talking. Okay, look, I'll take. Like I said, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I think that the key is, you know what I need? Let's be real. I think what needs to happen is that I need a website. I actually have a website, but I haven't been using it maybe the right way. I think the website that I have needs to just have everything there. So in case people miss anything, they can go there and see all the videos that need to be seen. I think maybe, and I can even link those directly to the YouTube videos that they're sourced from. Something like that. But I think first and foremost is just taking care of the Substack newsletter subscribers. You know. But what else is going on in Africa these days, guys? What else is going on in Africa that I'm missing? What else is happening? Instagram is, guys, you know my Instagram. Look, I'm seriously debating closing down my Instagram as well, just so I can focus. I'm debating closing down my this is another thing I'm going to do. Jobs. I'm hiring. I'm hiring because the 300 has started and cash is in the bank now. Cash is in the bank. So I'm going to start hiring, putting money in your pockets now, because that's what I said I was going to do. That's what I said I was going to do with the 300. I'm going to put money in your pockets, African pockets personally. Diaspora wars on TikTok. Yeah, listen. So I'm going to actually put out a list of jobs availabilities. Priority will go to African indigenous folks, who are actually in Africa. That'll be priority hires. Then obviously, look, I would love to get some diaspora guys in the mix. I would love to get some guys in the mix, but I'm specifically looking for, and I'll put this out there, there's going to be an editor, high level editor, maybe more than one editor. It might not even just be one editor. I might need more than one editor to deal with the videos. And I need a social media manager and a virtual assistant. No, social media manager, video editor, thumbnail designer, okay? Virtual assistant. Virtual assistant, I think I can take care of on my end. I think I can take care of a virtual assistant on my end. But those other three things I need. So I'm going to be putting it out, and I'm going to be vetting and getting guys in, and you're going to be the official 300 employees. You're going to be the first official 300 employees. Brand Fleurs, what say you? I'm going to be discussing this with the advisory board of the 300 as well, to discuss these hires that I'm going to be making, the first hires. I'm just waiting for the 15th to arrive, which is the deadline for contributions. And after the 15th of April passes, we'll start hiring people. Cassandra Norman, what are you? You said great. Are you talking? What are you referring to? Cassandra Norman. What are you referring to? The videos, the hires? What are you referring to? Man, I did not sleep great. I feel so weak. I feel so weak. I feel so weak. I have to go and get a nice, big, healthy meal this afternoon. I need to go and get a nice, healthy, I think that's the operative word, is health. The operative word is health. The meal has to be healthy. The operative word is health. I want to get a nice, healthy meal. It makes a big difference, guys. When you don't eat healthy, you feel like trash. You feel like trash. When you eat healthy, you feel on point. And guys, listen, I'm on point. That's another thing I'm going to be taking care of soon. We're going to talk about it with the advisory board on the 300. Health and fitness for the Black and African and diaspora community. Health and fitness, your diet, this whole issue with diabetes, heart disease, all of these things that are afflicting us. I'm going to take care of that too. I've got videos on that. I've got videos on that. I'm referring to you being an entrepreneur. Okay, thank you, Cassandra Norman. I appreciate that. I am an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. You are right. You are 100% correct. Let's see where this guy is, this person. I'm wondering where everybody is today. I'm wondering where everybody is today. I think maybe I got on here too late. Did I get on here too late, everybody? Did I get on the live too late? That's what I think has happened here. That's what I think has happened. I got on here too late. The 300 is in a full effect. The 300 is in full effect, and it's fantastic. Like I said, the 15th is the deadline. And everybody who became a part of this is going to be very, very glad that they did. I will make sure of it. Everybody who committed and became a part of this initiative is going to be very glad that they did. Everything starts with a first step. Everything begins with a first step. And what I'm going to do after Q1 is that in order for you to even join the membership, you've got to pay. I'm not even going to do it. Like, you're going to have to put in your first contribution to actually sign up. Going for Q2, that's how it's going to be. Once we release that first project, you see, this was Q1 where people just got to come in and act funny business. You know, where you just sign it up. I'm just going to sign it. I won't even do it anyway, whatever. That's stopping from now. For Q2, not going to happen. Because we're now, the train is now moving now. So it's like, yeah, if you guys want to come in, the first contribution gets made for you to actually join the 300. That's what's going to happen from Q2. No more freebies to get involved in the community. Because I've got some very, very good things planned. Because I was looking at it and I was saying that, you know, obviously there's a lot of news stories coming out, but I think now with the amount of people really, really interested in African history, and really, and that's the main thing, is really African history. I want to move back to the genesis of my platform, which was the history. The current affairs thing is what I'm going to now hire people to take care of. For my newsletter, I'm going to hire journalists and people to be like, listen, you're in charge of just giving us up-to-date news. You funnel it to me, I check it up, I press this, you get it sent, we post it weekly. We'll take care of that as part of the hires. I've got a list of hires that are going to be made. But I think that aspect of things, in terms of me focusing on that, I think I really want to get back to the history, because that is something that, you know, it is so valuable, and so much of it is unknown that I don't want to neglect it, you know? Am I a politician? Nope, I'm not a politician. Cassandra Norman. I am not a politician. Neither do I want to be. Neither do I want to be Cassandra Norman. I am not a politician. Neither do I want to be. So yes, no. No, no, no. Oh my Lord. Let's see now. I mean, I've got to... yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, that was... I'm trying to actually think now as in terms of planning content-wise, that I want to move these videos from my main channel as well. That's something I would like to do. The correct history is very important. I appreciate your work so far in presenting the true African history. Pauline P. Favor. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Like I said, I think I can do more of that now, because I think that is the thing that really resonates with. And in fact, it's what I really want to do. Like, you know, not just what it resonates with people. I think it's the thing that is most interesting to me, because all the stuff that is even happening in current affairs is rooted in history. It's rooted in the history of Africa anyway. So these are things that we should be dealing with. These are things we should be dealing with. You know? And I think also my, like I said, I think tactically I have to now consolidate my energy a lot more, in terms of just even making videos and outreach and doing the podcasts and everything. I think, you know, look, I am doing too much, which is part of my excitement of the 300 starting, because I can actually now pay people to help me and take on some tasks. I'm going to, even where I am now, I think I'm even going to try and find some people on the ground here who I can hire and bring in to work, you know, on the ground while I'm here, and I can train them. physically train them, you know, without it even having to be long distance or anything like that. But I think part of the problem is just finding the people, which is why I think I'm going to put out some videos in terms of putting out an APP for folks who I'm looking for, you know, who are looking for jobs. But again, it's like the problem with that is that you put out these things, people don't even get the videos. Like, you know, because of the algorithm, I don't know if these videos are actually going to get out there. So if I put out a video saying that I'm looking for editors, I'm looking for all of these jobs from people may not even respond. People may not even get the video. What am I saying? Respond. They may not even get the video. That's the problem. Warning. Your mic is low and low on. Okay. Yeah, I need to get my disk space sorted out. Damn. Okay. That is definitely low on disk space. Damn. All right. Let me see if I can actually clear out some things here. That my drive is about to shut down on me. I think I have too many. What's this? Oh wow. Okay, that has to go. Okay. Okay, that has to go as well. Okay, so I just gave myself a lot of gigabytes. All right, so that gave me some respite. Yeah, guys, my drive was running down. Just gave myself some gigabytes there. Yeah. Hi, Chris. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. How are you doing on the Substack? But yes, no, I think that the Substack community is something that I definitely want to nurture more as well. I think, you know, just because I know that I have more connectivity, guaranteed connectivity to them than I do with everywhere else, because I can't guarantee anybody else is going to see anything. So that's part of that is a factor. By the way, guys, I do have a sales newsletter, like for my materials that I have. Not even a newsletter, it's just a mailing list that is more designed for sales, like, you know, for actual products, which I've been building quietly in the site. So that's going to be cool. I mean, I'm looking at it and I think, look, guys, it's all a time thing. It takes time. And I think slowly and gradually we're going to get to where we need to be. And it takes a few successes as well. Like, you need to get a few successes under your belt for you to really make headway if you're going to move forward in this at all, you know? And I think that is also a challenge. That is also a big challenge. But I definitely know that of all the things I produce, the African history thing is definitely a hit. That is definitely the thing that most people are interested in seeing. Because I'm just checking out here. That is definitely the thing that most people are interested in seeing. You know, so that is going to be very, very cool. What day is it today? It's the 12th. So there's 3 more days, okay? Oh, Chris Xian. I have to bring this guy up. This dude has to be brought up. Chris Xian, I want you on the live. Get your camera sorted out. Are you the 20-year-old guy, Chris Xian? Are you the 20-year-old dude who is a member of the 300 as well, puts in his contribution, signed up to the Substack newsletter, became a paid subscriber? Chris Xian, is that you? If you're not the one, forgive me. If you're not the one, forgive me. If you're the one, click the link, get your camera ready, get on the live. I need to introduce you to the community. Get on the live immediately. Get your camera ready, get the lighting right to get on the live. I need to introduce you. And I want to do a direct interview with you one-on-one because you represent the future of you represent our future. And the fact that you've been doing what you've been doing is ridiculous. I'm very proud of you. You're not my kid, you're not my son, but I'm proud of you anyway. Chris Xian, get on the live. See how I remembered your name. I saw your name and said, I remember this guy. I remember this guy. If you're Nigerian, even better. I don't know if you're Nigerian or not, but if you're Nigerian, even better. Even better. Even better. Because I was talking about you to somebody yesterday where, let me see, you want to set up your laptop. How long are you going to take to do that? How long will it take you to do that? I was talking about you yesterday because I think I was talking to, I was on the, 2 days ago. I was in the 300 community and I was on a video thing talking to some of them and I was like, there's this guy, because I don't know what we're talking about. We just went in that direction. And I was talking about you actually. Basically about the idea that, look, all isn't lost for us. It's not lost. Like there is a generation coming through that just needs direction. You're Nigerian, fantastic. There's a generation coming through that just needs direction. Like they're ready to act. They're ready to do what needs to be done. They're ready to be better than us, ready to be better than our fathers, our grandfathers. They just need direction. All those Kenyan kids who were in the streets, imagine if those guys had a person to really give them direction because they're ready to move. But they don't have anybody like a lightning rod that can be like, okay, kids, here's the materials you need to have. Here's how you move in Kenya. Imagine, because they're just doing, listen, this is just not rocket science. When you're only 20 years old, you're 19, you're 17, you're 25, how much life experience do you have? You don't really know that much. Even if you've seen a lot, that is nothing compared to when you're 50. You've only been a viable adult for like 6 years when you're 25. 6 or 7 years. What have you really seen yet? So imagine if you could combine that vitality and that willingness to act and to move with somebody who actually knows what's up. Where are the Kenyans adults to step up to the plate? Where are you? I saw what those guys did. I said, look, you see Kenya, Nigeria, you should be looking at what Kenya are doing. Nigerians are on the verge because there's a lot of youth movement groups and things in Nigeria that are getting momentum. And it's great to see that. Because this is not about rioting or doing crazy stuff and all of that sort of stuff. No, it's not about that. It's just about a collective awareness that, look, things are not the way we want them to be in our country and with our communities. And nobody is going to fix it for us. We have to fix it for ourselves. We have to take some kind of responsibility. So when I see young people taking that kind of initiative and saying that, look, we're not just going to go and party and drink and whatever. We need to fix the society we want to live in tomorrow, that we want to raise our families in. That's fantastic. Angel Yohani, how are you? Angel Yohani, are you in the 300? I can't remember. But yeah, listen, it's really important to have adults who are going to guide people. Chris Xian, have you set up your laptop? Where are you? I haven't got long left on this show. Where are you? I want to bring you in. Anybody else who wants to comment on YouTube, you see the link there, click the link. Click the link. Oh, okay, sorry. No, enter your hand in. No problem. I only want people where it's comfortable. I don't want anybody that it's a struggle, please. Nobody that it's a struggle should join the 300. Please, please, please. I do not want to pressure. That is the last thing I need. People are struggling out here. My community is not to try and fleece you and to start pressuring people to pay tithes or anything like that. No. This is strictly for those where it is comfortable and easy and they're dedicated to the movement. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Chris Extian, where are you? Chris Extian. See what we have here. I have to think about what I'm even going to eat today. Thinking about what I'm going to eat. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The link is not working. Why? What happened? Try it again. Are you on a laptop? There it is. Try it again. Are you on a laptop? And you also have to be on Chrome. You have to be on Chrome browser. It won't work on any other browser. So get on Chrome browser for you to get in there. If you're not on a Chrome browser, it's not going to work. Try Chrome. Chrome browser. And see if that works. Let's hear more about the movement. Cassandra Norman, you mean you haven't heard about it? Seriously? Cassandra? That is what you're using. What is it saying when you click the link? What does it say? What does it say when you click the link? What is the message that you're getting? Because I don't really want to use a, what do they call it? A VPN over here. I mean, maybe I have to, but what is it saying when you click the link? Asko Frozy, what's up? How are you? Oh, Lord. It says the site cannot provide a secure connection. All right, let me use a VPN. Give me a second. All right, I'm on VPN now. Try it. See if it works. Let me try United States. Okay, try it. It should work now. If it doesn't, let me know. You're new to my Substack. Oh, Cassandra Norman, how did you find my Substack then? That's actually something I need to do. Listen, let me make a list of all the things I need to do today. Let's make a list of all the videos I need to post. I need to do let me do Substack, introduce yourself thread. I want to do a Substack, explain how paid tier and archives work. I want to do best advice I've gotten video. I want to do videos of my greatest hits to platforms. I have to think about where I'm going to put that. I've got to do all those things. Okay, I'm just making my little list here so I don't forget. Still saying the same thing. Wow. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it should work. Let me think about this. Why would you be getting that problem? Where are you, bro? Are you on like Wi-Fi or data, or what are you on? Are you on Wi-Fi or data? All right. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, look at this flying. Hold on. Let me see this. I got a spider running across here. Oh no. Oh. Ah, the thing ran away. See. Listen, Chris, I've been trying to talk to you. Congratulations. Listen, I've told a lot of people about you. I've
Thank
been
you.
singing your praises.
Thank
You know.
you.
See now, listen. I mean, maybe I'm not quite. Am I old enough? Let me think. 20. Yeah, you could be my son. How old are you?
20.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
You know, should be very, very proud of yourself, man. I've been talking to people. I said that, listen, I don't know what kind of contraband you're selling. I don't know what 419 you're doing where you get all these millions that you're using, that you're spending. I don't know where you're getting your cash. But regardless, I'm very proud of what you're doing, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's important that guys in your generation
Mm,
really understand that it's also your responsibility to change things. Like,
mm,
Nigeria is not going to get better if left to my generation. It won't.
mm.
It won't. You
Okay.
know, and you guys, and in fact, you're even younger than the generation that are now moving in, like the 26, 27-year olds are the ones who are now getting the jobs. They're now getting and I'm worried because I see the same mentality. I see the same attitudes of me, me, me. What can I achieve? How much money can I make?
Mm,
What can I do for my family and my people? I see that same thing happening with that generation.
mm.
And I'm glad that the way that you've spoken, because I've spoken to you on the DMs a few times, I
Yeah.
definitely want us to do a one-on-one video
Mm,
because I want to hear, or I want people to know about why you feel it's important to you. But regardless, you're on the live now. And just tell me a bit about yourself, tell the people about yourself, and we'll do this again in a proper video. But go ahead.
yeah. I just, I and my family, we just moved to the UK like 2 years ago now, from Nigeria. Uh, I'm just 20 and I'm just working at the moment. Planning to go to school towards the end of this year. Yeah, that's basically just it. I'm a Nigerian. Yeah.
Right. And you grew up in Nigeria your whole life, up till when you moved here. I mean,
Yes.
moved to London rather.
Yes. I grew up in Nigeria up to when we moved here 2 years ago.
Okay, okay. And what were you studying?
I only just finished secondary school. Uh,
Okay.
as soon as I finished my work, then we'll move straight down here.
Okay, okay, okay. And what are you hoping to, what do you want to do in university?
Able to just study like a pharmacy course and yeah, just get things going from there.
Okay, 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 okay. So
Yeah.
when did you actually, you know what? I'm going to save this for the interview because I want to interview you. So
Mm.
I'll save the key questions till then. But let me ask you that in your perfect world, where do you see things going for Nigeria and for Africa? And if you had your way, what is it that you hope will happen in the future?
If I have my way, oh my goodness, it's to become a superpower, like the like the US and China,
Well, yeah, well,
because
that one,
we have the resources to become it. It's just the mind, the lead,
it
and just
is,
the mind.
it
Yeah.
is, it is. But you know what's so funny is this, is that, and this is the interesting thing about it, is that, I made a video recently saying that North Africa is used against the unity of Africa. I made a very short video I put out.
Mm,
That video got a lot of traction because whenever you talk about North Africa in that way, it always gets a lot of attention.
mm,
What is interesting to me is that I really believe one of the biggest obstacles, there's many obstacles. One of them is us. Nigeria is one of the biggest problems to
mm,
especially West African unity is us.
mm,
Like we are a big problem, because we've never, ever, ever pushed for that.
mm,
Ever. We've never had a leader that's really went out of their way to be a Pan-Africanist and unites the continent. We've
mm.
never had a movement in Nigeria
Yeah.
pushing. We've never had that.
Mm,
But North Africa, that whole sub-Saharan fake line that they created, and
mm,
this idea that North Africa is a different place to the rest of Africa, and
mm,
the way the West relates to them and does business with them is categorically designed to keep us from uniting, which
mm,
is why Gaddafi was such a big threat, because there's no other North African leader that has had that mentality except him.
mm.
So for me, it's like, I think the biggest problem or to realizing what you're talking about, I think one of the biggest problems is North African hemisphere.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they've always been used to prevent Africa uniting. The Arab Spring and all of those things that happened
Mm,
further put pressure on not even put pressure, further divided the continent, because the idea that you've created an Arab world on African soil where they view themselves as part of the Arab world. What does the Arab world mean? What does that concept even mean? When they say, oh, we're part of the Arab world, that, we're in the Arab, what is that? How
mm,
can you be part of a world that is in another continent
mm,
and you're not African, but you're an African? So it is part of the reason why I find it so ironic
mm,
that people in North Africa get angry when you talk about Black African history and say that, why are you calling us invaders? But at the same time, you don't want to be part of Africa.
mm.
So
I
which
think
is it?
I think in North Africa, I think that includes Egypt, Morocco.
Yes,
Yeah,
Algeria,
yeah, yeah.
Tunisia,
Mm,
Libya,
yeah,
and I think Mauritania, I think, is over on the left, on the other left side of Africa.
mm,
Am I missing anything? That's it, I think.
yeah.
I think.
Because
But
I've been listening to all the ones you've told us about the Egypt, and yeah, basically mostly Egypt, and everything going on there. So yeah, can relate from that.
Egypt is a big one. Egypt is a big
Yeah,
one because the Egyptians, Substack, are you still there? Making sure that you're still there, Substack people, because I'm not sure. My feed is frozen. So leave a comment if the Substack feed is still going. Yes, look, Egypt is a big one because of Egyptian history. You see,
mm,
Egypt has such an amazing history that was so sophisticated long before Europe, and is
mm,
obviously so because people can see the remnants of Egyptian history. That the idea that that had anything to do with Black African people is a problem for white supremacy. It's
mm,
a problem. You can't. So that is the reason why even Europeans have an incentive to tie ancient Egyptian history to Arabs who look closer to white people. Like they are in proximity. They are, at least they're not black, which is
mm,
the idea. Anything but black. Like as long as they're not black people, we are willing to accept that those people were involved in ancient. Listen, this is the reason why it's so stupid.
mm.
It is documented that the Arabs invaded Africa in 639 AD. It is documented fact.
Wow.
It is documented that Islam came to Africa when the Arabs invaded Africa. So for anybody who is Arab in North Africa to now try and claim that they are responsible for ancient African history doesn't even make sense. It's like, guys, you weren't even there.
Mm,
You invaded at that point. You say that we're not invaders, but you are invaders. Like you did invade. Now, nobody is, listen, us on African soil invaded African tribes as well. So we did the same thing. So I'm not trying to tell Arabs in North Africa that, oh, because your ancestors invaded North Africa, you have no right to be there. I'm like, nah, you're African now. Your ancestors invaded the place, you took it over, you then converted people.
Mm.
Yeah, it is what it is. But to pretend that didn't happen is where I have a problem. That's the part of it that annoys me. It's like, guys, nobody is saying that you're not African, but you are saying you're not African. You are the people saying that you're part of the Arab world. We're not. I'm saying that you're African. I'm like, hey, you're African, you're there. But for you to say that you're part of the Arab world, but you're not invaders, which
Mm.
is it? Either either you're part of the Arab world and you're not African, or you are African, but you have to accept that at some point you invaded the place. That is the crazy part about this entire thing, is that you look at guys who are literally like they're schizophrenic.
Mm.
That is why they get so upset when you bring up this conversation. They get upset because they know you're telling the truth. They know what they're saying doesn't make sense. They know that they're in denial. They know they're in denial. So when you bring it up, like, oh my God, you Afrocentrics, you're always trying to steal history. How do you steal history?
Mm.
History is history. It's
Yeah.
just the truth.
I think relating back to, I'm so much interested in Egypt based on I've been reading the recent articles you've written on Egypt.
Right.
Yeah, so I just want to ask a quick question: that the Egyptians, are you seeing that back in history they were all like proper like brown skin colors and black skin
The
Africans?
Egyptians, yes.
But
So if
because
you
right
go,
now it looks as if all of them are all white. Like
yes, no,
I
no,
can't find any
yes.
single black anymore.
Yes,
It's like
yes, they were
crazy.
black. They were black. Yes. So
Wow.
if you go back in the history of Egypt, they were black. So, and again, I'm glad you're asking this question because I had articles that you can read. Okay, you're in the Substack. So did you
Yeah,
read
yeah. I'm in the Substack.
the
I'm still
premium
going
one?
through.
You read,
Yeah,
okay. So you've been reading it.
yeah,
Good.
yeah,
So you already know what I'm going. You already know. So everything
yeah,
is there. So
yeah.
yes, they were black, you
Wow.
know. And what happened is that the map is upside down for us
Mm,
because Africans, you know that there is no up or down, which is what I was trying to tell people when they're saying, "What do you mean? There's north, south, east, west." Even if there is a north, south, east, and west,
mm,
who is saying north is up? South could be up, east could be up. West could be up. There is no such thing as north being up on a globe. If you believe the world is round,
yeah,
or even if you think the world is flat, up is relative to whatever you say up is. It's relative to you. So the
yeah.
point is that for an African, up for us is not up for you. And also, what is even weirder is the Nile flows, the way the map is today is flowing upwards.
Mm,
For us, if you turn the map upside down, then the Nile flows down, like it flows the way you'd think it would flow. So
yeah.
the point I'm making is that Sudan is the origin of Egyptian culture.
Okay.
That is where Sudan is what was used to be called Nubia.
Mm,
That is the genesis of Egypt.
mm.
They are black. Do you know how black the Sudanese people are?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
as
I know.
black
I
as
can
your
see them.
shirt.
I know. They use them as models in today's world now. I
Yeah.
mean,
These guys are like the blackest people that you'll ever see in your life.
they use them as
And for me,
models.
it's like for you to now try and pretend they've done everything in their power to erase every link those people have from Egyptian history, even though the evidence is staring you in the face. Do you know that Sudan has like 10 to 20 times more pyramids than Egypt has?
Mm, I think you
So,
said that
Egypt,
already.
why did you go and build all your pyramids in the black place if you are the originators? Does that even make sense? Why would you go there and build all your pyramids in Sudan? The Sudanese pyramids are in disrepair. They don't maintain them. They
Mm,
don't keep them up. They don't do tour guides there or visits there because they don't want the world to know
wow,
that Sudan has pyramids. They don't even want the world to know that Sudan has pyramids.
that's
Second of
crazy.
all, that they have so many more pyramids than Egypt has.
Wow.
Because once you allow people to know that, all of a sudden they start asking questions. Now, hang on a second. I thought you said that Egypt was the pyramid place. So why did these black people have all these pyramids? Why are there so many there? You start asking too many questions.
And they put it in like history, like no one knows who built the pyramids, like as if it's aliens that built the pyramids.
Well, listen, you know what's so funny about that? Let's not go into that area because It might be aliens that build the pyramids, but then
Have
you have
aliens
to
never
define,
existed on it?
no, but you have to define what is an alien. That's really what you have to then start questioning is like, what is an alien if there is no such thing as extraterrestrials, that the aliens are actually still on this planet? Let's not go there because I don't want to go into my conspiracy theories. But how do we know that the so-called aliens are not still on this planet with us? We just do not, we have not, as regular people, are not able to go to the places where the aliens who built the pyramids actually are. They could still be on this planet. I don't want to go much further than that. But the reality of things is that you have Lama Washington. How are you? How are you, Lama Washington? You have to be realistic when you look at the levels of manipulation that we're dealing with, and the fact that that is why they do not want us to even have any control of our history. When you do, you start uncovering truths that deconstruct everything that has kept us in chains as people. It's part of the reason why I want to now really go back into the history side of things and really start focusing on the history side of things, because
Yeah.
there's so much there that will, you know, they keep bringing up this DNA thing. Well, the DNA has shown the link between the Arabs who are there now and the ancient Egyptians.
I don't
Let me,
understand.
let me tell you something so stupid. First of all, there's first thing. Why should I believe the liars who told the lie doing the DNA testing to now tell me that this is the truth? That's the first thing. You are the same culture that lied for hundreds of years, are the ones now doing the DNA test to now tell me what is or is not happening in Africa. That's the first thing. The second part is this, which I put in my thing. Let me ask you a simple question. If in Peckham, you know Peckham in London,
Yeah.
that one is Lagos Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay? It's Lagos and Jamaica Part 2. Now, let's say 100 years from now, they go and they find tombs, grave sites from Peckham. Everybody in that grave site is black. They're all black. They then say that, and because in the future, you know that they say everybody's going to be black in London in the future. So let's say 100 years from now, everybody in London is now black, right? And then the black people say that, yeah, but London was always black. It was always black. It was black in the 1990s, the 1950s. And people are like, no, it wasn't. They're like, no. And these black people have erased all the history books, everything. So they just tell people that, can't you see everybody in London is black now? Everybody in England is black. We've always been here. We are the originators of, we have always been in England. Then they do DNA test, and the DNA test goes to grave sites found in Peckham. And those DNA will match the DNA of the black people in Peckham, in all of England in 100 years from now. They say, you see, it's the proof. That's the proof. We've shown you the DNA that everybody in 2025 was black. Look at the DNA from 100 years ago. This is 2125. 100 years ago, the DNA we found. And people be like, well, that is the stupidity of this. You found the DNA of a gravesite in a particular part of Egypt that happens to be connected to the people you're seeing today, which would make sense. It's like they invaded at a particular time. The time that you're seeing these bones would correlate with when these people might have been there.
Yeah.
Does that prove that everybody that was there looked like those people? Of course not. But you see, this kind of logic, which is very simple logic, is what they don't want to accept, because they know that the regular person listening to this nonsense is not going to be willing or able to apply that kind of of logic. Or even, what I just explained to you is simple, but nobody talks about it that way. Nobody talks about it that way. So I think that is the thing that we've got to fight against, is the rewriting of history. And I think I want you to now just give me your thoughts on all of that, but also what you think is the most important steps that we need to take going forward. But what are your thoughts and what do you think?
Um, I think all the steps you've been taking so far, I think this is the best way to handle it, and this is a step to take to rewrite history. Um, the books you've been writing, different all the articles you've been putting on the Substack. Yeah, I believe these are the things that will help that will help educate people on history and help us understand where we are now and where we are going to. So it's basically going to give us, it's going to give us a focus and it's going to give us a direction of where we are headed. Because I didn't know much of these things until I came across a platform, starting to understand history. I'm like, wow. So as soon as I begin to understand history, so it's basically helped me understand what's going on in today's world. I'm like,
Today,
okay,
right,
I can link.
right,
Okay, what is happening now? I can link it to history. Okay, this is how they got here. This is why it is happening. I can basically begin to start linking it and begin to have some level of understanding. Because before this, like a lot of things will be going on in the world and we don't even understand why it is happening. All of those things. Most I'm not even interested. But as soon as I begin to understand some part of history, then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, I'm beginning to understand this. This is why it is happening. So it's that educative aspect that is helping, especially we the young guys, we the young generation that don't understand. We understand nothing without history.
right,
Very, very
right,
confused. You don't know what's going on. You know.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that's why this is so important. And
Yeah.
you know, you are the 300 meeting, right?
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody about what we discussed there, but I think the kinds of things that we're trying to do, I
Mm.
think is going to really help with these problems. I think it's going to
Mm.
really help with these problems because I find one. This is gonna. I'll land with this. One of the biggest problems that we are facing as a community is the desire to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Once we can conquer that desire to participate, we will actually start moving forward really rapidly. The
Mm.
trick is that, first of all, you create this desire that all these Black and African people have to participate in something you don't control. So
Mm.
therefore, everything you're doing is to be chosen. Pick me, pick me. Give me an opportunity, give me a chance. I want to participate. That's the first thing.
Mm.
What you also have to identify is the fact that a lot of people from your own um, um, communities are used to perpetuate that mentality. They
Mm.
take some of you, make them successful,
Mm.
and those people then turn around to show you what it means to be successful and how to be like them. And it
Mm.
just perpetuates the same cycle. The
Mm.
most important thing that we can learn is those people do not represent us. They don't.
Mm.
The celebrities, the sports stars, the actors, the directors, all of the sort of guys, the rappers,
Yes.
Afrobeat stars, they don't represent us any. Once they get to that point of
Yes.
success, they are no longer part of us.
Mm.
Not because they listen in their hearts, they really want to be. So I'm not sure. Many of them, like for example, Burna Boy, his heart is in the right place,
Mm. The
but he can't.
African, yeah. The African giants. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't help. Like, the point is that by definition, for you to be successful
Mm.
through that system, you cannot be for us because the system sustains you, and the system is against us. That is just the nature of things. So
Mm.
regardless of how much these guys want to, oh, we want to be a champion. I'm like, it's part of why I was talking about the 300, and I didn't want to have investors and
Mm.
why I do not want to have those sorts of things. I said, look, from the second you start taking money from anybody, from
Mm.
something, at
Mm.
that point, they then have a say in what you can and can't say and what you can and can't do. And for
Yes.
these people, it's like, listen, Burna Boy can't come out and say anything he wants anymore. He can't. He cannot do that.
Mm.
Because if, as I said, with the problems in Nigeria, the reality is that, yeah, Burna Boy, you should really be every day talking about these problems.
Yeah.
You should be making concerts about it, making songs about it, because our country, the country you come from, is rapidly dying. It is turning to nothing.
Even Davido is trying. Davido himself, I think, recently was even mentioning about the hardship going on and all of that. Yeah, Davido is also trying as well.
He is. Look, Davido said things, but this is the point I made. Look at how they brought hellfire on his head when he said what he said. Then he had to even come walk it back, and since then he hasn't said anything. And that's my point. It's like Davido didn't even say that much, and they still gave him hell for it. Because they own you now. They own you. So you can't just say those sort of things. That is what I mean by, therefore, you can't listen, you can't follow these people because they are owned by the machine now.
Yeah.
So even if they come and they say something, they have to talk to their PR team, their manager, their agents, their representatives, and say, look at this thing. Can I say this? Whatever. And then they craft something, they make it, and then they go and put the video out. And then they look and say, look, let's look what the reaction is. If the reaction is going too far left, they pull it, they change it. That is not, we don't need that sort of thing now.
Yeah.
So that for me is where we have to be really, really careful going forward and really understanding that the first step is breaking that cord or cutting that cord of we're following these people.
Yeah.
These celebrities represent us. No, they don't.
They don't.
When you've cut that cord, then all of a sudden you realize that, oh, I don't need to participate in that to be successful and to feel validated. That will be the next step. But you don't get to that step if you're still looking at members of your community who've succeeded and saying, I want to be like them. You can't.
So just to cut short, let's also get a charger. I'll just really plug my phone.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go back. Sorry.
Celebrities don't rep people in Africa. It only happens in the Western world where Black people live. I don't know what you're talking about. Celebrities rep. What are you talking about? I don't know what that means, because celebrities in Africa, we are the most. Let me even just use Nigeria as an example. We are the most materialistic country in the world. Like, I don't think that there's a more materialistic people than Nigerians. Like, we're the most materialistic people I've ever seen in my life. People who like money and luxury, nobody beats Nigerians when it comes to superficiality. Like, we are the most superficial people on earth. Like, and I've been around, I've seen everybody, but that society, that's part of why there's so much corruption and it's so easy to corrupt, because of how much guys like luxury and opulence. Where that came from, that's another conversation. Where that came from, that's another conversation. You know? So yeah, I do not know what you mean by that. Live Evolve, how are you? That's what Juju Canton said in an interview about acrobats. Probably Afrobeats you mean. Buju Banton, I think that's what you mean. Musicians and the power they have but not using it, it's said. Yes. Yes. It is the problem. It is the problem. Celebrity don't represent no Black peoples, only the local people do. Okay, I don't know what you mean, Eric. I don't know what you're talking about there, but fair enough. Everybody has an opinion. Oh, yeah, man, this show needs to be ending soon. I've got into, what are we now, an hour? Oh, we're over an hour. To go and take care of some things. I need to take care of some things. What I mean is our greatest leaders aren't famous. Yeah, but who are the greatest leaders and what influence do they have? So what I'm talking about is that the people with the most influence in our countries are these people who are not doing anything for us. Burna Boy and Davido have massive levels of influence in Nigeria. What are they really doing? Like, so what I'm saying is that the people, the celebrities and the footballers and all these sort of guys and singers and so on and all these folks. And let's not even talk about just the people who are just rich in Nigeria. And because they're rich, that's the reason why they're famous. Oh, this rich big man. Because you're a big old guy, all of a sudden you're not a main man. That's the problem. So you have situations like that. It's like, why are you listening to any of these folks? So when you think about it, look, whoever are the good leaders, who are they? They don't have any profile.
Do you know about VDM?
About who?
Very dark man.
Very
Very dark man.
no, who is that?
He's like an activist and he's young. He's very young. I think he's in his late 20s now. He's the one like doing the most now.
Where is he? Where is he based?
He's in Nigeria.
Very dark man. Okay, I didn't know about that. And
Yeah.
what is he on YouTube?
He based on Instagram. You can check him out.
Instagram.
Yeah. He's one that does a lot for us now. Like he's our voice now. He's our main voice as youth. You can check him out. He does a lot. Killings has been going on in
Where are you? They got him. They got him. Are you there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So different things has been going on in Nigeria. He recently discovered that human trafficking was going on. That a lot of young Nigerian girls underage, were being trafficked into neighboring countries like Ivory Coast and other countries like that. So he recently found that, and when he found that, he quickly brought it to the awareness of the public and even donated because he have like his own team. He has like his own team, right? He called himself the Rattels and all of that. He have like his own team. So what they did was they basically donated. They had to donate 20 million to like to the governing body that takes care of anything immigration. Can you imagine? He reported the case to immigration, but I think he later discovered that okay, they want to help, but they don't have enough funding to help those girls and to bring them back home and to try and make them keep surviving and cater for them. So what you had to do is you had to donate 20 million naira to those governing body to go and help with the human trafficking case he reported. I'm like, wow. So he reported something and they couldn't do anything. So he had to be done to donate to the government. I was like, wow. Donate to the government, to the sector in the governing body that will take care of that. It's like,
Sorry, please repeat it. I was getting something happening here. Repeat what you were saying, I beg.
yeah. Basically, they reported like a human trafficking that happened. He discovered a human trafficking that happened in that whereby some underage girls have been taken from Nigeria to neighboring countries like the Ivory Coast and the rest like that. So he went over there and he saw them himself.
Uh-huh.
He did a video and all of that. He showed us, especially those young girls from like the north. So he discovered them and he reported the case to a governing sector in Nigeria that's responsible for anything immigration or human trafficking, stuff like that. So I think he reported the case and they couldn't, for them to start, go and get the girls and bring them back and, take care of them and cater for them till they find their parent and, who their families are. But they couldn't do that. So I think they told him that at the moment they are like underfunded. They have no
Right.
money for us to like take care of things like that. So what he had to do was not donate 20 million to them.
Who donated 20 million?
The guy, he had
Who?
to donate 20 million. VDM, very dark
Wait,
man.
$20 million.
Naira, 20 million naira.
Oh,
He had to donate 20 million naira to them to go and bring those girls from
how much
those.
is 20 million naira in dollars?
That's still a lot. Let me check it. It should be like thousands of dollars.
So he paid the ransom.
It's not ransom. They basically found the girls. I think they've put them in a good place. But what they're waiting for is just for them to be brought
No,
back
but
to
he paid to
Nigeria,
bring them back.
just to bring them back, and take care of them, put them in a place and take care of them to the,
So what
finally
is
take them to
20
their
million
family.
in dollars? What's 20 million?
20 million naira in dollars. That's $12,000. Twelve thousand five hundred.
12,000.
$12,500.
Damn, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Only, or just him.
So this guy has money like that.
Not necessarily he has money, but he runs like an NGO account. He does like a lot of stuff. He runs like an
Okay.
NGO account whereby his own fans, his supporters, donate money into that account, and he uses it to do a lot of things in Nigeria. For example, fixing boreholes, going to
Right.
different places where
No,
there
I
are
need to know
problems,
who this guy
and he
is.
goes
This
out
guy
to do it.
sounds amazing. This guy
Huh?
sounds amazing. I
The
need to
guy
know who
sounds,
this
yeah,
guy is.
the guy is amazing. He does a lot of things.
Very dark
Goes to
man.
different
Let me
places.
see who he is. Very dark man, you said, right?
He's a very, how will I describe him now?
No,
He's
you
a
said that his name is very dark man.
very dark man, yeah. Can check him out. The guy is the one that Sheila is doing a lot.
Very dark black man. Very
Very,
dark.
very dark black man with the one with 2 million followers.
Okay, I've seen him. I'm seeing him now. Hold on.
You can check all his day in day
Okay.
out. They always have something to fight
This guy
about.
is in Nigeria.
Yeah, he's in Nigeria.
Uh-uh. I haven't seen this guy before, you know.
Check him out. The guy is doing awesome. Check him out.
Please tell him about me.
But I don't know him. I follow him, but I've never talked before.
This guy
But
looks like he's a real deal. Oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If I feel like if one can connect with him, we can work together with him and do
Martins
something.
Vincent O'Shea. Is it O'Shea
Yes,
or
that's his real name. Martins Vitens Otese or something. Otese or
Otse?
something.
Otse. It looks like Otse.
Otse, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
that
that's
guy.
the guy
Fantastic.
is doing a lot.
That's the kind of guy that I want to support, you know.
He's doing a
That's
lot.
the kind of guy I want to support.
Day in, day out, he's fighting a lot of things. Day in, day out. He's fighting
But
a
you
lot
see
of
that,
things.
you know what the funny thing is? That's the why I like that is that that's different from what I'm trying to do.
Mm.
He's an activist.
Yeah, they call him an activist.
I'm not an activist.
Mm.
I'm not an activist.
But we can
You know
always
what?
work together. Because
But we
we're,
can work
we're
together.
reaching for the
Yes,
same goal, isn't
exactly.
it?
It will be a good partnership because I'm not an activist. I'm
Yeah.
definitely more. I'm a creative. I'm a creator. I'm focused on what I want to do.
Mm.
Focused on education. Focused on entertainment. I really want to like entertainment, literature, books,
Mm.
comics, films. Though,
Yeah.
because I see those are the ways that we've been really bamboozled. Like that is what has really messed us up.
Yeah.
Because if we can take control of our narrative, a lot of these problems start disappearing.
Mm.
But you know what? Look, let's talk offline. I
Okay.
want us to do something because you're young.
Mm.
And I like that. And if there are more people like you, I don't know if you know anybody who is like you, please introduce them into this, what you've been doing, into the community. I do not know if you know people, but I like this. And I want us to let us set up a time to do a proper video. I will think of what topic, but I really think that the topic is really about African youth, you know, which is why if you know more people, do you know other young guys who are interested in what you're interested in or not really?
No.
Not really, right?
If I told me, most of my friends are back in Nigeria and they're all like, struggling, going to school, trying to
Right,
learn
right,
the
right,
basic
right,
stuff. Yeah.
right. Yeah, they're not going to be. Fair enough. But at least then I think that why I like it is that do you have your own social media?
Yeah, my own social media.
Like what kind of stuff are you posting?
I don't really post.
You don't post.
No, I don't post. I don't post.
And it's because you don't really want to post or you don't know what to post.
I I think it's a bit of both. I don't really want to post and I don't want to post at the same time. It's like
Because I just feel
both
like
of my.
something like I think somebody like you would be very inspiring
Mm,
for young people. I think that I really want people to see and know who you are because
mm,
I think that, a lot of young people, especially at your age, don't think they can make that big of a difference. They don't
mm,
think that their voices really mean anything. And I really want them to know that, look, obviously, I don't believe in the Western mentality because I believe that that's also a form of control where they focus on youth and give the youth so much focus, but it's because they just want to exploit them and sell to them. That's why they want to use the youth as just a cash cow. They don't really want to cultivate youth that is going to be productive adults.
Mm.
Which is where leadership comes in. Because the way that the West look at youth is that they make it as if they're the adults. They just treat them as if they are already at. That is the reason why that the age, you look at kids who are 18, 19 years old in America, and they might as well be 40-year-old people, the way that they're behaving and doing so. But I
Yeah.
think for Africa, it's just as long as you're maintaining the fact that, look, these people are young, but now connecting that with adults who can guide you guys, which is where I really want to come in. Is like, I want to really guide guys. Like the fact that you're reading what I'm doing, that means a lot to me. That what I'm putting out is now changing how you're thinking,
Mm.
and that you are now inspired to go and look into more things. It makes me feel great, which is why I want you to talk more. Because I'm like, man, for me to have a community of people of your age group who read my stuff is amazing.
Mm.
If I could have that, I don't have it yet. Most of my readers go up to the age of 70 years old. I was looking at my demographic. It goes from all the way from 70 to my prime age group is like in the late 30s to 50s are the people reading my stuff. But I have people in the 18, 19, but not a lot. So I would love to increase that demo.
Okay.
So yeah, no, definitely, man. But all
Yeah.
right. Any last words
That's so
before we
welcome.
end this down?
I believe Africa can be great if we work together and be strategic the way we are trying to create something. Just like people like Captain Brown Chori, they are very inspiring. Every day in day out, I'm checking of this. I'm checking the things he's doing in that country.
Amazing.
I'm checking.
Amazing.
I'm just keeping tabs on all the. I've seen. I've been people that are going there, and are being on the place and doing like a tour sort of things. I'm checking out the things he's doing. People like him are very inspiring, and I hope that others can learn from him and try and implement it to other African countries and make us great. Yeah, I believe we can be great if we continue in a very strategic move like this.
Yeah, listen, no, I don't want to put it out here, but I have a special Captain Traore shirt coming out.
Yeah.
I have a special shirt. I actually know what the shirt is going to look like, but I don't want to put it in the public. I don't want to put it in the public here. We'll talk. I'll tell the 300 people that their shirt. I have a special shirt coming out that I'm excited because I've already got the design, and the design is so good that I can't wait to make it so I can wear it. So
Okay.
I'm not even thinking about anybody else. I can't wait to make it for myself because I've had this design in my head for a long time of what kind of shirt I wanted to make to just signify what he represents for us.
Mm,
And I want to, the reason why I want to make the shirt is very simple. Like I would like, it's not even so much a shirt, it's like a series of clothing
mm,
that are designed to put his image out into the public in a positive way to make
okay.
it more difficult for them to malign his reputation. So I
Mm,
want to do something whereby kids in America, UK, all over the place in the West are just wearing it.
mm,
So people then start asking questions like, who is this? Who is this? I keep seeing these shirts everywhere. Who is this? That's what I want. Because once you ask that question, people then go and read and like they want to find out who is this person
mm,
that everybody is wearing this thing with his image on it. Who is
mm,
that guy? That is what I want to do. I think the challenge though is just cost of production. And I have to think about it because part of me is like, all right, look, if I make this thing, then I can actually take some of that money I make and maybe donate it to Burkina Faso school or something. Or like
mm,
give some of the proceeds to something there. So I need to first of all I need to link up with some Burkina Faso people, or at least people in even all three places, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and just say, look, I don't want to just donate to a charity. I don't want to do that. I
mm,
want to know exactly where the money is going, or to produce something that can go that will actually help them in what they're doing. That's the only reason why I have a little bit of a hesitancy, is that I don't want to just give it to a charity.
Mm.
I don't
Well,
trust them.
but to be honest, I feel like those guys, those countries are rich. I mean, they have good.
Oh no, those guys are rich.
They are rich, so donating. I'm like,
How can I talk about Isaiah Jacque? Listen, didn't you see the link? I'm about to go. Like, you better hurry up. Click this link. Hurry up, because I'm going soon. If you want to join us here, quickly click that link. I'll give you 10 minutes, then we're going. Isaiah. But
yeah.
yeah, no, listen, you're right.
I feel like
There's
those
no
guys are
money
rich.
that we
So like,
have that
what
these
man?
guys. These guys are Burkina Faso has gold, Mali has gold,
Yeah,
Niger has uranium.
I imagine.
Like,
And yeah, so they're really building a lot. I mean, if you see they put the Burkina Faso, their main capital city, or Ouagadougou,
mm.
he put like a massive banner of the kind of buildings you want to build. Oh my days! If that guy
Listen, you know
finished,
what?
finish that, if that guy
You're
finished that
inspiring me.
place,
You know what? I think I'm going to go to Burkina Faso.
if that guy should finish that if that guy should finish that building, oh my days! Burkina Faso will be like, it's going to look like Dubai, to be honest.
Nah,
In
nah,
just that, in just the
I'm
capital
gonna go.
city of Ouagadougou, that capital city. You
Nah, I'm
understand?
gonna
If
go,
they can
because
finish
people
that
don't
building,
even know
it's going to be
this
crazy.
link isn't working for some reason. How did you fix your link? How did you make your link work?
What I just did was I just connected to my laptop. I just put on my hotspot from my phone, and I
Okay.
connected my laptop to my phone.
So
But
what were you connected?
My Wi-Fi was not working. The
The
Wi-Fi in the house, I
Wi-Fi
think
wasn't working. Okay.
they just used
Isaiah
the
Jackie,
data from my
connect to
phone.
your hotspot
Yeah.
and make sure that you are on Chrome. You have to be on Chrome browser. And if you're using Wi-Fi, try connecting to your hotspot. The reason why is that I'm behind enemy lines here. That's the reason why the internet is acting funny, because I'm behind enemy lines. I'm spying on what those guys are doing.
Hmm.
So, in fact, I don't want to give my location away, but I'm somewhere where the internet is being monitored. So that's the reason why it's challenging for people to get to me. But Isaiah Jacque, use the hotspots and try that way and see if it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Those
See if
Burkina
it
Faso
works.
guys, man, they're even creating their electric cars. Oh my days.
Listen, I saw that. You know what? Let me put that down. I have a list of let me put that in my list. Burkina Faso electric car. Let me put that in my list.
They're really creating their cars, like.
Those guys are moving. Listen, do you know how stupid it is? Look at Nigeria. Look at
Hmm.
Nigeria. Look at what these little countries are doing. Look at what
Look
this
at
little.
what. Yeah. And the thing is that we have people that want to even do something in Nigeria. Look at Dangote. See what you think, but they're frustrating his efforts. NNPC. They don't want
Well,
it to sell.
Dangote has a crazy amount of money, and to be honest, it's like the things that he could do. If he wanted to do them,
No,
forget
no, no.
about the
It's
refinery. Just
the
like
the final the
go
finally
on.
is doing now. The deal was that he's going to sell. Um, the deal was to sell crude oil. I mean petroleum in naira. So basically, they will sell crude oil to him in naira, and he will refine it and sell it back in naira. And that will appreciate the naira's value and do all of that great stuff to appreciate naira. But right now, for some reason, I think
Okay, you know what? Let me do a video on that. Dangote efforts
mm,
refinery
yeah,
effects. All right, you know what? I'll do a video on that to help. I need to
yeah.
do research. Isaiah, make sure that your camera is on, please. I beg.
A webcam. I have a computer set up, but I unfortunately don't have a
How can you
webcam.
not have
It's
a
like
webcam in 2025? What the hell?
it's just something that I unfortunately haven't invested into because I
Oh, damn.
hadn't had the need. But I realize that is of importance. But I apologize that I don't have a
All
webcam.
right. Anyway, so welcome. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Ooh, fantastic.
The young guys are coming in now.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm 22 and I'm from the U.S. and
Okay.
I've been utilizing your like your outreach and what you've been talking about, and especially on this journey which I've been taking into becoming more Pan-African and realizing the opportunity that exists between us right now and how what we face currently in both and across the diaspora, it benefits us in astronomical ways that most people don't actually put the research into to understand how it's so capable and possible at this moment.
Right.
And so there's a there's a lot for me to, if it would be too long for me to really unpack right now of the research that I put into, especially some projects that could truly be revolutionary and have genuine research back behind it. I would love to send you this document that I have put together, but in short, it basically goes into detail of how the current main crisis that we face here in America as African Americans is the housing crisis. And it explains how if we are to truly unify and try to build economic wealth between our diaspora, we have to utilize the idea of foreign exchange into the housing market, which directly basically solves the housing issue in all the aspects of the housing crisis here in America by actually investing into housing, into infrastructure in Africa. By
Right.
also doing so, utilizing foreign exchange, it's crazy the rate right now, even with a lot of people who unfortunately live pay to paycheck on things like $15 per hour, you actually still have the means if you allocate your money correctly,
Right.
utilizing
Well,
foreign exchange to do this now.
let me just let people know. So if you're on Substack, you're asking if you want to join the live. Like I said, I'm not going to be on much longer. I've put the link in the Substack feed, that you click that link, but make sure you're on Chrome. And if Wi-Fi is not allowing you to connect to it, then use your hotspot on your phone to connect. But you need to be on Chrome on your laptop to get onto the live. So you can do that now. Make sure your camera is on, you've got decent light, good sound, and you can join the conversation. Okay, the link is in the Substack feed. I just posted it. Yes, look, I agree with you. Look, I think, like I said, I'm going to make a video about the person who gave me a massive lesson, in how to look at all these issues that we're discussing and what needs to be done. And the fact that, look, everybody is not ready to walk through the door. So the important thing is finding the people who are ready to walk through the door. Now,
Correct.
talk is very cheap. We're talking right now. This costs nothing. It costs nothing. Actions, they cost a lot. In fact, an action could cost your life. Words could cost your life, but actions, talk is cheap. It doesn't cost anything. It's like you could just say things. I just said it, and doesn't mean I'm going to do it. It doesn't mean I mean it. It doesn't mean anything. And I think that understanding that concept, that even us having these conversations and talking about the things that we're talking about here, I think the thing that resonates a lot is, and I didn't know this till I became an old man, that when I was young, your mentality is different and you get into an age, and then I think nature is a fantastic thing. Nature does something to your mind. It's actually, listen, that whole Africa, listen, let's not even forget, let's forget about African or Western, just call humanity. There's a reason why we are animals, and when men get older, they become father figures, whether they like it or not. They have paternal instincts. You have leadership instincts, mentorship instincts. Not all men, like some people still stay children for their entire lives. But you start having these instincts. Now, similarly, young people, young men especially, look up to older men to guide them naturally. It just happens without you even knowing why you feel that way. If you see a guy that is older, that is giving you information or any kind of wisdom or giving you guidance, you're automatically drawn to that energy. I was when I was your age, my uncle was when he was my age, and so on and so forth. So it's because I now understand the importance of the dynamic that even when I sit here and I talk to people, I say that, listen, you've got to pick one target for your energy, like one thing. what is it, even if it's for this year, what is it that I'm going to do this year? Like Chris has said that I'm going to read up on history. I'm going to educate myself. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be more than that. Like at your age, you don't even have that kind of, you don't need to take on more of a responsibility than just educating yourself.
I definitely understand that, and I've also taken the time to take that journey to also learn. That's why I said I've done tangible research, and I understand what you're saying. I would just mentioning that project as something that I think that is worth reading and worth educating people on, because it's a document that goes into great detail about things that making people aware of. It's what my actual goal is making people aware that the information and infrastructure to actually further your education and your knowledge and your whereabouts about what is actually happening actually exists. And
Right.
so by actually taking that step to understand me as a young age, I've been able to put together this information and source it to where you can access it and say, now I'm sharing information that gives you greater access to a resource that you did not have before.
That
That's
is
the
right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of value in.
Hello?
Is it
Think-
buffering for you?
Yeah, I can
Is
hear you, but I
actually,
think
yeah, go on.
okay.
It kind of cut out, I think.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on,
we
Chris.
didn't hear you. We didn't. You went off for a
Oh, I
while.
cut off. No, I
Yeah.
said that I agree with what he said, what Isaiah said, and I think that is all valuable information.
Mm.
Unfortunately, not everybody is ready.
Oh,
What's wrong with his network?
yeah.
No
I think you
connection.
might have a VPN, or it might have just ended the line.
Let's give it some time to be back, I guess. I don't know if we are still on the live. I believe we're on the live.
Yeah, I'll just stay and see if he joins back. But what were you guys speaking about before, while we had the opportunity to actually speak?
Yeah,
Wow,
so we're talking about Africa, and
that was me.
we're
Did
talking
you
about
hear
Nigeria.
anything I said?
Oh,
No, you
not
were gone.
I was gone the whole time.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
Damn.
a
What
minute
did you
ago
last
now.
hear me say?
absolutely nothing.
What was the last?
Yeah, what?
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't hear what you said the last.
Okay. So basically, I heard what Isaiah said, and I agree with him. You hear what I'm saying now?
Yes.
I agree with him. I believe that all of that information is very valuable. I
Mm,
feel though that the problem is most people are not ready or willing to go and do that kind of work, to go and look into those sorts of things, especially in your age group. So,
mm,
from my experience, what I find is that the best thing to do is to simplify what is required. So
mm,
I look at it and I look at the younger generation. I say, you know what? The most important thing is for you guys to do is just purely education, and to
mm,
make sure that you're spending these years, these young 20s, 20 to you're in the late 20s,
mm,
really just amassing a very, very clear and solid understanding of your past, your
mm,
history, and then setting yourself up for the work that you're going to do in your late 20s and 30s. That is what I believe. I believe that when people at your age group start acting too quickly, you make bad decisions, you make mistakes. And
mm,
it makes sense that you'd make mistakes because you have no life experience.
mm,
So of course you would make mistakes. And that is what worries me about very young people being the pressure being put on them to push society forward, because that is what has killed the West. It's like they focus on people who have no maturity, no concept, because they want to sell to them. So I think for me, it's like on my platform, especially, it's like, look, I need to create a scenario where I create as much material and guidance that you can access that causes you to talk the way that you're talking now.
mm,
Like it's what I've made that I get people now coming on and saying that, man, you know what? Since I've been watching your thing, I've started thinking about things differently, I've
Yes.
started, wanting to look at. And listen, let me tell you something, Chris. You have seen nothing yet. The things I'm going to be putting. Oh my Lord! If you think what I put out has changed your mind,
Yeah.
the things I'm going to bring out is going to completely restructure what is going on in your heads, and that is what excites me. I'm like, oh my God! I now have an opportunity
Mm.
with all the experience I've had and all the things I've seen to give it to you guys to actually use.
Mm.
I'm too old. My time is done. But I can take what I've learned and give it to you and be like, you guys take this.
Mm.
I want to see what you're going to do with this knowledge. I want to see what you're going to do with this wisdom.
Mm.
That is what excites me because I see my own generation, they're not doing what I'm doing. They don't give a damn. They don't care. So I feel like I've been put in this position to do this because I really care.
Mm.
I even listen, I came on this live. I was supposed to be here for 30 minutes. You guys have kept me here for 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 40 minutes. That's because I get excited
Yeah.
when I have these conversations.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that I tell people, I say, you know what? Part of the reason why I think I've gotten subscribers and followers and the 300 has gone forward is that you can tell I like what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing. You can actually tell it excites me. I like doing this. It's
Yeah.
not, I'm not acting. So you might go to other places and you see people and it feels like it's a performance. For me, it's like it is so genuine because if you were in my private life, this is literally what I talk about. Like in real life, like all I've done is I've just turned on the camera now and you're seeing what I talk about all the time is things like this. And my frustration used to be I had no outlet. I had no outlet because the world I was in didn't give a damn about this. Now, all of a sudden, with this platform, it's like, my God, I have an outlet where I can come on here. I'm not doing Dr. Uma, respect to Dr. Uma. I'm not doing any of these sorts of things.
Mm.
I'm more, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I'm more like, no, I'm literally you. I'm you. I don't know a lot of the stuff I'm learning. As I learn it, I then tell you that, my God, look at what I found out.
Mm.
Look at what I found out. Look at what I've discovered. Look at this. And then I can take perspectives on it and say, okay, look, I found this out. This is the way I think we should be looking at these things, which is why I'm saying that the stuff I've got to show you, the stuff I'm going to make, like it, because I know what is out there. And I'm like, if you've seen this stuff already and you think of this stuff, I'm like, no, because there are things I want to put out that will really help change the way you receive a
Can't wait
lot.
for it. Yeah.
Huh?
We're here for it. We're here for it. We're here for it.
Oh no, listen. And again,
Yes.
it's like
And you make fantastic videos. Like your especially those big videos started from because when I went scroll through your YouTube from the beginning, all those cocoa, the lithium in Nigeria, those things,
those ones,
they are
right?
very very catchy. I'm like wow, wow, wow. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
You make fantastic videos.
No,
You
no,
make
thanks.
fantastic
I'm
videos.
going back to that's what I mean. That's what I'm going back to.
Yeah.
Now that we've gotten the place, we've got like, man, we're now at 100, almost 108,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Mm.
And I haven't even really been pushing the way I want to push.
Mm.
That is why I want to stop focusing so much on Instagram and these other things. I'm like, you know what? This YouTube thing, we can get millions of subs.
Yeah.
If I
You also
really
have a
We
crazy
just
outreach.
yeah, we just the history content alone. Yeah, I believe we
say
can.
that again, Isaiah, what did you say?
I was saying you also have a great outreach, and I think it's important to push people into long form content where you're actually hearing people talk instead of short form content that's like
Yes.
having a negative effect on attention span because
Yeah.
we need to actually have dialogue and conversation where you listen for a little while. That way you're able to absorb more information and you're not, on this dopamine output that basically Western society kind of operates off of. Because if I can make you comfortable and complacent in short term and basically make you, short term reward
Right.
something
Mm.
of value
Mm.
by transitioning to long form content and forcing people to actually listen to what you're saying and dissect it and
Right.
then respond, because you have to watch the entire video to understand the perspective. Then you respond and say, this is what I've, accumulated through what you said, and maybe go back and forth because you have the platform to share obviously your viewpoint, but you also have the platform to start to engage the deeper parts in people's mind to
Yes.
get them to
Yes.
also start thinking and to
Yeah.
get them to say, okay, how can I use what he said in other areas. Because the thing that I talked to you about is definitely big picture, but I
Yeah.
have also have other ways that I've been trying to actually mobilize and do things that, like, one of my main focuses is on education. I'm a drum instructor. And
Okay.
at a young age, I realized the impact of drumming and education and just the access to actual materials in the classroom. And so
Right.
I have an organization that I want to try, that I've been trying to build. And I've already been doing my own kind of work on the ground by sponsoring children in Nigeria through, like, putting them through private, like, through better education.
Right.
Um, and so that's why I mentioned foreign exchange being such a big part of that vision, because I realize at my income level, I'm 22. I know how much I make. It's it's not anywhere into what is supposed to be the middle class in the United States. I'm only 22, obviously,
Right.
but I realize, wait a minute, I have the opportunity to, if I utilize this correctly, I have a greater impact on somebody's life. Not only just sponsoring them through education, through just, paying for the education itself, but I was talking to somebody, some of my team, and we were discussing. I know me on a personal end, the amount of excess electronics that I have, and
Right.
how utilizing the excess electronics that I may have, and people, I've even talked to people at my job that may have, they're down to donate things, donating them to schools in Africa, giving those children access uh, to material that they can use in, learning how to use technology, learning
Yes.
how to use these things, giving them access so that on the playing field, when you really look at it on a global scale, the simple access to electronics that other countries such as China and here in America that we have access to, that gives us access to the internet, or gives us access to
Yeah,
just
but
having devices in our hand.
right. You see, this is the thing, right? And again, and I actually need to go and get some food now. But this is the thing I would tell you is this. I hear everything you're saying, but take it from me. Take it from me. Because of the experiences that I've had in trying to change things all of these years and the obstacles and so forth, this all begins with your brain. Forget about the access to the internet, all of this, because we don't have the mindset yet that is ready to embrace things the way they need to be embraced in a and also in a way that has integrity. You see, for example, with China, they closed their borders, for God's sake. That's what they did. They isolated themselves. And they did that so that the West could not infiltrate as they were building their new society.
Mm.
Korea did the same thing. Russia has been isolated. Like these people, it's not rocket science how these countries suddenly come back. The Middle East did the same thing. The Middle East was isolated because everybody said they were terrorists. Nobody da in the 80s, 90s to that. While you were calling them that, they were over there building Dubai and building themselves up to be what they are today.
Mm.
China, you said that these people were communists, they're this and whatever. While you were calling them communists and the red states and everything, they were over there building what they were building in isolation.
Mm.
Russia, you said they were it's the same thing over and over again. The only people that they will not leave us alone is Africa. They will not leave us alone. They said that we are this. Leave us alone then. Leave us alone. Let us do what we're
It's
doing.
ironic. It's ironic because of, in America, there's a situation that is occurring right now where their focus is not on us. There's issues that are affecting everyday Americans in white America, that they have no choice but to focus on those issues. This is why, if you see the recent protests that have taken place all across the country, it's apparent that there is not a lot of black people, not a lot of African Americans, not a lot of police presence, different things like that. This is because they have realized that there's an issue that lies between them. We face an opportunity right now if we realize we have one thing that people move off of is incentive. And the way I see it, and what you said earlier, you have to take the people that are willing to make the jump. I'm
Yes.
willing. I done talked to my
Wait a minute, Isaiah, are you in the
family.
300? You're not in the 300, are you?
I think I joined, but I've been busy and I didn't have my computer because I've been away. But I got my computer now. Um,
I mean, I
but
don't think I saw you in there. That's why I don't know. I don't think you're in
I,
there.
I I applied to it and I saw the emails, but for some reason, sometimes when I get emails from you, it takes a while. I
But
remember
what
I
I did
downloaded
say,
the.
Isaiah, I did tell everybody, I said, listen, if you have financial issues, you can't do the quarterly thing, don't join. I told everybody that. You know,
Mhm.
that's the main thing. I was like, look, I get that some people really are excited and they were like, oh, I'm so excited. I want to be part of this thing. And they sign up and then the time comes to act and they just disappear. I don't want that because it is so important that, you know, that is what has killed us as a community is that we guys talk and we can't unify and be disciplined and move as a unit and do anything. That's really a problem. What I was trying to explain to folks is that just because you're not in the 300 doesn't mean that you're not down for what we're trying to do. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're not ready for that. You're not able to do that. What is more important is that you're honest with yourself and say, you know what? I'm ready. I support you, but I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. Or I support you. I can't be involved in that. That's fine. That's completely fine. So I think that that is what I try to impress on people because of the importance of what this is and how important the momentum is going to be. That the last thing I want is to get to quarter 2, 3, or 4, and then half the people who started have disappeared. That is a disaster because by then, you know, you've got momentum and we have to be able to keep moving. So I think
Right.
that is why it was so important for me because this is not Patreon, this is not Kickstarter, this is not GoFundMe, it's not like any of those other things. This is definitely a more organic, team-based, united community of disciplined, committed folks going forward in the same direction to support me doing what I need to do. To give people more like what Chris is talking about. That's why I said that Chris can never imagine what I'm going to make now. Because the stuff I was doing before was like just me. I had no support. Now I actually have support that I can actually really do what's in my head that I really wanted. Oh my God, that's a whole different ball game.
Just got a sneak peek. What's got the title of what's about? Just maybe a title if it's a word or two word.
A title, okay. Man, I can't say it on here. I can't.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
say, do you know what? Let me end the live and I'll tell you guys off live.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you guys off live. So stay on. I'm going to end the live and I'll say, because I can't put this sort of things out in the public sphere. I can't. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Listen, if you want to be a member of the 300, you go to www.the300, the number 300.io. The link is also in my bios. You can go there to find as well, but you go to www.the300.io to apply. You have to do it immediately because the deadline for contributions is the 15th of April. So that's in 3 days. What day is it today? 12. 3 days. And we're closing it for quarter 1. So if you don't get in quarter 1, that's all she wrote. So make sure that you do that now if you want to do that. All right. See you guys.